campaigns and the way you think when you plan your campaigns, right? What actually goes into strategizing the campaigns and all that stuff. Yeah. So that's my agency, Radon Media. I own the agency and we specialize in paid campaigns. Each and every platform that's available in the world. So we work on all the platforms. Google AdWords is majorly what we focus on. Right? So I'll share a few inputs about how to plan your paid campaigns and all that stuff. Yeah. So before we start, like how many of us here are business owners, or maybe someone has hired an agency? Okay. And like how many of us are working with package agencies? Agencies that sell packages. No one, right? That's good. Because there are two kinds of agencies. One is a package agency and the other one is a performance agency, right? So when it comes to package agencies, people come to you guys with a package of 30,000. They'll tell you, be 30, but this is what we'll do, right? This amount of keywords, this amount of text ads, and this amount of campaigns, right? So ideally when it's package based, right? It's not the packages that define your strategy. या फिर packages के ऊपर से आपके campaigns perform नहीं करते. When it comes to paid, everything has to be performance oriented. Like n number of campaigns. If you need to create 1,000 campaigns, you have to. If you need to put in a lakh of keywords, you have to, right? So that is performance based, right? So having a purely performance driven agency is the best option to go with, right? If anyone is having a package agency, please end your contracts today itself and find an agency that actually works on the performance basis, right? So we'll look how we start with So let's see how we start with strategizing campaigns, right? So very first we start with website analysis, right? This is one of the most important factors when it comes to your online business, right? If the website is not working properly, if the page load time is very high, definitely you will have very high bounce rates and low conversions, right? Even the conversion rate drops, right? So make sure that your website is good. So I have a few tools over here that you can use. So one of the tools is GT Metrics, right? So GT Metrics is a tool that helps you to find out all these page load times and all that stuff, right? Again, so along with the page load times and all this stuff, this tool also gives you the factors that are affecting your website, right? Once you click on this, so suppose it says specified image dimension, right? So over here, once you click on it, it will give you all the images in your website wherein your dimensions are not specified, right? Or probably if it gives you an error saying that the image size is too large, if you click on that, it will give you optimized images. So you can directly go here, click on that, and you can download the optimized images wherein the size has already been reduced, maintaining the same quality, right? So this is one of the most important tools. This is a free tool that you can use, right? So now ideally when it comes to your paid campaigns, you would have two types of campaigns. One is wherein you are focusing on revenue and conversions, right? So that is when your traffic lands on your website. And the other kind of campaigns are lead generation campaigns, right? So lead gen is wherein you use a single landing page, right? You display all your products or your services, and then you have a contact form wherein people fill it up and go to a thank you page. So whenever you're focusing on a website, whenever you're driving the traffic to the website, make sure that all these things are in check, right? So that's the grading. It gives you a grade A, B. So make sure that you are at least at grade B, right? The second thing is WooRank. Now this ideally shows you your on-page factors, what is missing on your page and all that stuff, right? Now why is on-page necessary for the paid campaigns, right? Because ideally people think that on-page has nothing to do with your paid campaigns, but it's one of the major factors when it comes to your paid campaigns. How many of us are working on Google AdWords over here? We are, right? So I guess probably we know what is a quality score. Yeah. Exactly, right? So this is something that affects your quality score, right? Make sure that all your pages have all those tags, your title tags, your keyword tags, meta description and all that stuff, right? Because this is what helps you to improve your quality score. And quality score is nothing but your relevancy, the relevancy between your keyword, the text ad and the landing page, right? So the higher the relevancy, the higher will be your quality score. Now, most of the times on a lot of keywords, you would see that landing page is an issue for your quality score to be down, right? So this is what you need to do. If it shows landing page is a problem with the quality score, for the quality score part, so this is what you need to do. You need to on-page optimize your site or your landing page, whatever it is, right? So this is how you start with your paid campaigns, fixing step by step, things step by step, right? The very first thing you fix is your website. Unless this is proper, you can't proceed with the other campaigns, right? The second step would be competitor analysis. Now, how many of us over here start their campaigns with competitor analysis? Are you doing it? That's great. And what kind of tools are we using?
Sandwich.
Okay. Same. Okay. Anyone else? All right. So this is one of the best tools that is available, ComScore, right? If you see, I just have a few screenshots from this tool for you. So if you see, it gives you a drop down. So this is ad metrics, right? ComScore के 3 products है, out of which this is ad metrics. Ad metrics gives you the insights for your competitors and all that stuff. Right? So if you see the drop down, the very first option that it says is view an advertiser's ad and where they ran. So this exactly gives you where is your advertiser running their ad copies. It also gives you the ad copies that they are running, the creatives, right? And so this is majorly on the display front, right? When you are planning your campaigns on the display front, this is what you have to use, right? So this is one of the best tools that is available. So it gives you a list of options over here, right? So this idea helps you to find out what is performing for your competitor, right? Now ideally, if you and your competitor are in the same business, right? So if one placement is performing for those guys, it has to perform for you. So ultimately, from here, the insights that you get is, ultimately you don't end up wasting money on multiple sites. You just find out what is working for your competitor and you start testing your campaigns over there. If it has worked for them, it has to work for you, right? And you end up spending less compared to what you would if you don't have these tools with you, right? So that's the ad copy that it's showing. So probably we did a search for Vodafone Group placements. That's the ad copy that is coming up. This is for the social front. Yeah. Espionage is the second tool. This is again one of the best tools that is available. Espionage gives you, this is a summary that it's giving you. So it gives you, so I've done the search for Flipkart.com, right? That's the number of keywords that it's giving me. This is only for the US market, right? Now, when I look at in this, I also get all the keywords that are available, right? So these are the keywords that they are bidding on, and you will also see the stats in front of that, right? Again, I can go and drill down into the ad copies that they are using. So I can get the ad copies along with the landing pages, and again a few stats with that, right? So this data won't be 100% right, but at least it will give you a lot of insights about what your competitor is doing, what all keywords they are bidding on, right? And which is like what are the keywords that are performing for them. So probably this is some good insight that you will get from this tool, right? So now by this time, when you reach at this step, right, you're already aware what your competitor is doing, right? So your half the strategy is prepared. You at least know what are the audience you have to target, right? So these tools will also give you the audience, the age groups, the demographies, and all that stuff that they are targeting, right? So by this time you have half the strategy ready. You know the audience that you have to target. You know the region that you have to target, right? You have the placement list with you. You also have the creatives that these guys are using. So probably you can analyze the creatives and you can find out what is working for them, what are the color schemes that are working, right? What are the tabs, what are the call to action that are working for them, right? So there is a lot of like insights that you get from all these tools. So already you are down the line now, half thing is done. The second thing that we need to start with is brand analysis. This is for our own brand, right? Now you know what a competitor is doing, you know where the competitor lies, what is their search volume, लोग कितना search करते हैं, उनको business कितना आ रहा है, you know everything. Now the most important part is कि where is our brand, right? Where are we in the market? So we have this tool called as Google Trends. Again, this is a free tool, right? So Google Trends is somewhere wherein you can compare the search trend with your competitors. So I've done this for these four giants when it comes to e-commerce, right? So if you see, Amazon has a very high search trend, right? And then we have Flipkart, then we have Snapdeal, and then we have Jabong, right? So this ideally gives you an insight that probably people are not aware about my brand, and this is what I have to focus on. What all things you have to focus on. To drill down into this reports, you also have a report for Google Shopping. If you can see at the top right hand corner, Google Shopping is what I've selected. When it comes to shopping campaigns, you will see it's only Amazon's that people are searching, right? No other brands are getting searched. That means when it comes to Google Shopping campaigns, Amazon is the one who is focusing on that. So probably this also gives you an insight that Amazon is focusing highly on this. Maybe we can try it. Probably it's working for Amazon's. That's the reason they are spending such a huge amount on this, right? So we should try it. So this is again a small part of strategy that you get from this tool, right? Now when you drill down, this also gives you related searches that are happening, okay? And it gives you top and rising. So when you click on rising, again rising is an opportunity. If you see Xiaomi is at breakout, right? So this means that the stock or the inventory for this particular product has to be always full. Getting it? Right? Because a lot of people are searching for this. So you always need to have this stock ready, it has to be always full, right? So these are some insights that, these are small insights that help you a lot with the business, right? And then you can again drill down city-wise and region-wise both, right? So when you check city-wise, again I see that Coimbatore, Visakhapatnam, Bangalore, Chennai are the places where people are searching more for Flipkart, right? So maybe when it comes to AdWords, you have an option, or any paid platform that you use, right? You have an option to bid at the location level. So you can bid on specific locations, you can increase your bids at specific locations, right? So maybe you can put out a geographic report, right, at a later stage. You can analyze all these targeting that you have done. And maybe if you find that Visakhapatnam is actually working for you, maybe you can bid high on that. At the initial level, when you're launching the campaigns, this is what you will target, right? And then after a month, probably you will pull up a geographic report, and then you will analyze what is happening, and accordingly you will increase the bids for that particular city. The second fact that you need to check is search share. So this is something that you can even do through Google Keyword Tool, right? So you can probably put in your brand term, and you can put in 2 to 3 competitors that are there. You will get the search volumes, right? You can take out the sum of that volume, and then you can find out the percentage of the search volumes that you have in the market, right? So this again gives you your brand presence on the search.
I didn't understand the concept. Can you come again?
So see, this is search share. So this is to find out what is the share of searches that you are getting compared to the competitors, right? So you can use a Google Keyword Tool. Probably you have 2 competitors, right? You can put in your brand name. You can put in the other 2 competitors' brand name. You will get the search volumes, right?
So only by brand name?
Only the brand name. Because this is all brand analysis. We are just trying to find out brand famous kitna market, right? So once you have all these 3 keywords put in, you will get these total search volumes, right? Uska sum karke find out percentages. So that will give you what is the search share percentage of your brand. So this gives you an insight on the search front, right? So now you have all these stats with you. Ki brand presence kitna hai, competitors kya kar rahe, all that stuff, right? Now if you find that your brand presence is low, right, if it's not that high, so that directly gives you an indication that you have to focus on your display and your video campaigns, right? So that is again one part of the strategy that you have learned from these 2 tools. If your brand presence is good, probably you can spend a bit less on your display campaigns, and you can spend more on the search campaigns, right? And you can always have your brand campaigns in search running on the broad match, because that will ideally give you a very low cost per lead and cost per acquisition, right? So this will help you to find all this stuff, whether you have to focus more on branding, or you can directly start with your generic campaigns and all that stuff, right?
Just one question.
Yeah.
I see you have considered largely on e-commerce. I come from the industry which is like IT outsourcing. And I'm from Germany. So the kind of business we are in, we compete with the biggest of the industry, right?
Right.
TCS, Infosys, Subcom. So you see this kind of tools largely be helpful for my kind of.
Definitely. So like these tools, I've taken e-commerce because that has a good search volume and I can show you some stats, right? But you can definitely use these tools for each and every business vertical, right? Probably if
Also, like, in the share you are showing Indian cities. Now I'm looking global.
yeah, so you have an option.
How do you?
I'll just take you to that slide. So if you see at the top, worldwide economy, right? So over there you have in drop down, you can select any country, any city, right? You can select a country and a state. So you can drill it down, and again you can take this data for whatever period of time you want. I have taken it for past 12 months. It can be all time. It can be 4 months. It can be a specific date range. So this will give you all the insights.
So, sorry,
Yeah.
I have a follow-up question. So he's talking about B2B or B2C?
B2B, largely B2B.
B2B,
Largely
right?
B2B.
So do you
That
think
will
it
give-
still hold good? This holds good for even B2B?
Yeah, definitely.
And
Just that, see.
And on top of that, the volume business, the sale is not really in thousands.
Right.
It is in 500,000 sales
Right.
for us. So I'm just trying to understand how it is.
See, we do have a lot of B2B clients also. We use the same tools. Just the thing is, when it comes to B2B, right, ideally the search volumes will be less,
Right.
right? Because this is very generic stuff. When it comes to e-commerce, like each and every person is searching for it. But when it comes to B2B, if you're searching for a specific product, it's probably a person who knows what that product is all about. Right now, we have B2B companies wherein these guys manufacture sensors. They are the world's third largest sensor manufacturer. So in case of sensors, those are only used on the assembly lines of Ferrari, Bentley, Volkswagen, and all this stuff. So probably when someone is searching for that product, it's either a decision maker or a vendor, a product vendor or something of that sort who is looking for it, who actually knows what that sensor is all about. Your sensors, maybe there are multiple types. Maybe type A is not suitable, type B is suitable. So with B2B, the search volumes will be less, right? But the quality of the traffic that comes in is very high. The quality is really good compared to what the e-commerce campaigns are. But probably with B2B, you will also see some high CTRs. The click-through rates will be very high when it comes to B2B. That won't happen with your e-commerce campaigns, right? Because it is very generic stuff. So yeah, now we had a look at how to optimize the website, right? Which is one of the most important parts. The second thing that we saw is computer analysis. So once you use a few tools, there are also a few tools that help you to find out actually what your computers are spending. Now, espionage is majorly US and UK focused, right? When it comes to India, there is a tool called as SimilarWeb, right? SimilarWeb is a tool. So when you go to this tool actually gives you a split of the traffic sources for one of your computers, for any of your computers, right? So it gives you the search traffic, it gives you the display traffic and all that stuff. So, and along with that, it also gives you the visits. Okay? So that gives you कि वो computer के site पे visits कितने हैं. Now, it won't give you the spend directly, but then you have to apply.
All the tools you're talking about are free tools?
Most of them are free. Espionage and ComScore are paid tools, right? SimilarWeb is again a
Similar
paid
is
tool,
free.
but free it gives you a good amount of insights. So I guess you don't need to have a paid version for SimilarWeb. Right. So SimilarWeb gives you the visits that come from the search campaigns and the display campaigns. So now ideally when you are working on the digital front, right, you probably might be knowing the CPCs of that particular business vertical. So if it's e-commerce, maybe the CPC is between 18 and 20 rupees when it comes to search. अगर display पे है तो the cost per click is probably 10 or 12 rupees, right? When it comes to real estate, the cost per click for search will be 80 or 90 rupees, and when it comes to display, it's 15 rupees. So now you know what are the number of visits on the client website, right? So you can directly multiply that with the CPCs. Okay, that gives you the spend that they are doing on the search front and the spend that they are doing on the display front, right? Now we can drill down more into that reports. Now, who has worked for a long time in AdWords or on the digital front, ideally knows what are the conversion rates. Right, so you get the spend, you get the clicks, you have the CPC, तो अभी आपको spend तो पता चल गया. Now with the number of visits, you can multiply it by the ideal conversion rate that you get on the online front. That gives you the number of conversions that they are receiving. Getting it? Probably I can.
Question again, sir.
Yeah.
Is there a site or a tool which gives us benchmarks for B2B or B2C?
No, unfortunately there are no benchmarks.
For example, click-through rates for a B2B company.
See, benchmark मतलब कैसा होगा कि ideally your search campaigns must have a CTR of 1 and above, right? अगर 1 के नीचे आपका CTR है, that means the campaigns are not well structured. The structuring is very loose, right? Maybe your negative keyword list is not that good. So with search, you have to be 1% or above that, and when it comes to display, right, it has to be at least 0.10 के ऊपर, कम से कम. Right. So those are the standard, like that's the benchmark when it comes to search and display. But vertical wise, there is no benchmark because probably if you are into a business A and your competitor is also in the same vertical, right? Not necessary that your account and his account will perform the same. Probably आपका CPC 20 रुपये होगा, उसका 30 rupees होगा. No two accounts are same.
But for a SaaS company, right? It might be. I mean, we might be in the same business, right? My competitor and myself.
Right.
So any benchmarks might help is what I was saying.
No. Like industry wise, the benchmarks नहीं होते. Like at the AdWords level, I can give you the benchmarks 1% and 0.10 is the CTR that you can expect. उसके ऊपर जो भी मिलेगा.
How much?
I would say
CTR? How much?
CTR at least 1% minimum search के ऊपर. Minimum 1% and display पे 0.10 तो मिल जाना चाहिए. With display we currently drive a CTR of 1.5.
for B2B, instead of focusing on the CTR part more, I would say on the conversion part for the lead nurturing activities.
Right. No, I'm not just talking about CTR, but even for conversion, right? Is there a benchmark? I mean,
Benchmark,
any
you would not be able to set up a benchmark because it's AdWords for B2B would be a reflection of your strategy. It should be a reflection of your strategy, how you're approaching towards your target. And if that is right, your AdWords will reflect that.
Right.
So the benchmark will come from the strategy. There's no benchmark you can say ki 1% CTR is good for my domain. For particular technologies, we are getting as high as 8 to 10%. But is that getting me conversions? That's what we would be looking
And ultimately, traffic is not what matters. What matters is the ultimate conversions or the leads that you get, right? And we have seen a CTR of 8 and 10% on generic campaigns also when it comes to e-commerce. Okay, so that all depends on how tightly your campaigns are structured. Your negative list has to be very strong. So yeah, coming back to the similar web part. So probably once you know the visits, right, you can multiply that by the conversion rate, the added conversion that you get. So that gives you the number of conversions that your client is getting. And once you divide the cost by that, you have the CPA and the CPR also. That won't be very exact metric, but at least it will give you some insights कि इस industry के लिए CPL या CPA क्या चल रहा है, or what is the client gaining, right? Something of that sort. At least you have some benchmark metrics. Right. So now that we have all this stuff, we can focus on strategizing the campaigns, right? So search campaigns is what you will focus on, display and the remarketing campaigns. Now when it comes to search, you ideally start with a Google keyword tool. So when it comes to researching the keywords, this is the best tool that I've seen. So this gives you a lot of insights. So Google keyword tool is what you can focus on, right? And along with this, ad preview tool is another tool that gives you that shows the ad copies of your competitors and all that stuff, right? So once you log into this, you can even analyze the ad copies for your competitors. Now, when it comes to ad copy analysis, ad preview tool, the second one. So now, when it comes to ad copy analysis, right? Probably, like again, we'll consider the e-commerce domain. Maybe your competitor is running an ad for Adidas shoes. Okay, maybe they are giving a 30% off. Now that is what you see on the website, or on the Google search front. Now probably if you put up an ad over there with 10% discount, the chances are that probably people might not click on that because your competitor is already giving 30%, right? So maybe you can try to give them a better deal, right? Maybe a good percentage off. Or maybe you can create an ad copy in such a way that people tend to click on that, right? You have the site links and all that stuff. You can showcase your other products also. Maybe Adidas पे उसके पास 30% off है, आपके पास शायद Nike के ऊपर 40% off है. So you can always bid on the Adidas term and show up the Nike ad, right? So you can always do that. So ad copy analysis is very important when it comes to your paid campaigns, whether it's a display campaign, whether it's a search campaign, anything. And if you are focusing on real estate, if you are focusing on e-commerce, right, this becomes very important because e-commerce has new deals coming up every now and then, right? The products change, the pricing changes, right? But probably when it's a B2B, so they don't even specify the product prices, right? Because it does not allow. So maybe B2B के लिए we'll have the same ad copies. Maybe you can work around the ad copies. Yeah.
What kind of ad copies work very well and which don't? So can you give me some examples as to, if your ad copy is like this, just average, I'm not talking about specifics, but this works and this does not.
So exactly. See, your ad copy must always have a call to action, right? We have seen a lot of ad copies where call to action ही नहीं होता है, like buy now, start now, something of that sort, right? So your ad copy must always have a call to action. So those are ideally these ad copies work the best, okay? And then the rest all depends on the products that you have and the offers that you have, right? So as I told you, कि competitor अगर कोई अच्छा offer दे रहा है, probably you don't have that offer, but you have in that same category you have a second offer that is better than the previous one. So you can focus on that. So and when it comes to ad copies, the search ads, right? Google provides you with a lot of extensions. So make sure that you use all the extensions that are available, like that apply. You can use the site links. So site links can be always used to display more products that you have or the offers that you have. Nowadays you also have call out extensions, right? So call out ideally is used to show the USP of a product or a particular brand, right? And if you are a local business, you can use location extensions. You can use call extensions also, right? So make sure that if you are at the top 3 positions, right, make sure that your ad occupies more and more space, right? Also, it's not necessary that top 3 positions ही perform करते हैं. A lot of times, ad copies at 4 and 5 perform better compared to 1 and 2. So it's necessary that you test all the positions, right? Probably 7 days के लिए you bid high, you test the top 3 positions. Then you decrease the bids, you bid on 4, 5 and 6, you test the performance over there. And then the lower positions. After a month, pull up a report, compare the reports, and accordingly bid on that. Right? So there's a lot of background work that you need to do. You need to maintain the bids that you applied and all that stuff. Right? But this is actually the way to go, which is the position that's performing for you. Yeah. Now, when it comes to the keyword tool, right? Don't forget to check the mobile trends. Right? Because nowadays a lot of searches happen through mobiles. At least 30% of the searches are through mobile phones. So make sure that you check the mobile trends. If you find that the mobile trends are good, make sure that you have your mobile campaigns launched. Because a lot of people don't focus on mobile. Ideally, the problem over here is either the website is not mobile optimized, right? Or the page load time is very high. So, as I told you at the very start, website is what you need to fix. Once you have fixed a website for all these fronts, that is when you can focus on all these campaigns. Yeah. Now, that is search. Coming to display, right? Display, again, you have a Google Display Planner that gives you the insights for specific categories that you select. As you see, I have selected shopping, right? So that gives me that for a particular geography, it gives me the amount of traffic that's available and all that stuff. Again, if you see at the right, you will see that mobile has 64% of the traffic when it comes to display, right? So you should not miss out on the mobile devices. Now with mobile, nowadays you also have these in-app ads, full screen ads, right? So make sure that you focus on all those sizes. A lot of people don't include those full screen ad sizes in their display campaigns. So make sure that those ad sizes are there. Right now, this display tool also gives you the list of placements. If you see at the bottom, it gives you a list of placements. So if you are planning to launch a campaign for managed placements, so managed placement is something wherein you show your ads on specific placements, right? So this is where you can download the sheet, you can sort that list of sites and you can focus on that. Yeah.
Sometimes for display particularly, since I operate in the domain, so I know which other websites my target audience would visit.
Right, exactly.
But I'm not sure whether it is affiliated to the Google Display Network.
Okay.
Is there any way to check for whether a particular site, for biggies would be there, but a niche site, is there a way to check whether it's affiliated to GTA?
See, I guess anyway you can put in the domain and check. Prior to this, there used to be a display planner. Okay, now Google has discontinued that. In fact, they discontinued like yeah, but they have shifted that to DoubleClick. So display planner actually was a great tool wherein it used to help you to find out the ये site GDN के अंदर है कि नहीं.
Right.
But nowadays that's not an option. So maybe this is where you can search for. You can try entering the website name and
Of the landing page.
no, on the search front. ये जो keyword search किया हमने.
Okay.
And if it shows up, if it gives you the traffic and all that stuff over here. If you see over here, it also gives you the ad formats that are available.
Right.
So if it's available in GDN, it will give you the details on that. If not, it won't.
So I input the website domain at the
Yeah.
research. Okay.
So now, when it comes to display, right now, with these tools, you have probably prepared your keyword list. You already know the keyword list that you have, right? You know what devices you have to target, okay? With the display planner, you have the list of websites that you want to target and all that stuff, right? You also know the CPCs and the devices that you have to target again. But now when it comes to display, right, we target users at different funnels, right, of a sales cycle. So one is the upper funnel, one is the mid funnel, lower funnel, and then the customers, right? So now, whenever you're targeting these funnels, right, your strategy for targeting these funnels have to be different. Different strategies for different funnels, right? You can't use the same ad copy for all the funnels. कि awareness के लिए भी आपने same ad copy create कर लिया, फिर mid funnel के लिए भी आप same ad copy run कर रहे हो, and ultimately remarketing के लिए भी आप same ad copy run कर रहे हो, right? So that does not make sense. So probably if people are the upper funnel, right, this is where you are creating the awareness. Right? Here you should have ad copies that speak more about the brand, or that the ad copies show off the brand names. Right? Now, once you have these visitors, right, you can always have your remarketing campaigns in place, and you can capture all these cookies. Right? Now you can remarket to these people. Now these guys shift down to the mid funnel when you remarket the ad copies to them. So at the mid funnel, you can have your remarketing campaigns, general remarketing campaigns running, right? Maybe you can have the ad copy of the specific page that these guys have visited, right? Then we have the lower funnel. So maybe अगर mid funnel में भी convert नहीं होता है, right? If the user does not convert at the mid funnel.
I don't understand. Means how we choose the funnel for the different customers. Like means how we target
See,
these things. How
how
we
you-
know.
कौन से funnel में है?
Yes, right.
Definitely. See, the thing is, the upper funnel, right, is when you are creating awareness. So this is your general display network. जो display पे आप ad serve कर रहे हो, that is your upper funnel. So here you are introducing your brand for the very first time to the end consumer, right? So that's your upper funnel. Now when they click on it, when they come to the site, right, you will have your remarketing campaigns in place, you will have the codes in place. So that cookie gets captured, right? So now this visitor has shifted to the mid funnel, right? Now mid funnel mein, you always have this dynamic remarketing that you have, right? So with dynamic remarketing, you can send them a specific ad copy that they had, like a product that they had seen in the past, right? So that's mid funnel. Now, if the customer converts from here, right, it directly goes to the customer roller funnel, right? Because with remarketing, you can capture the cookies for non-converted as well as converted, right? So all the people who went to the thank you page are the ones who converted, right? So ultimately आपने conversions वाले तो आपने निकाल दिए, अभी जो non-converted बचे हैं, right? So ये जो mid funnel वाला जो है, now you create a custom combination. कस्टम कॉम्बिनेशन में आप ये करोगे कि मिड फनल वाले जो है मिड फनल माइनस कन्वर्टेड यूजर्स, राइट? सो नाउ द size or the cookies that you have left are the people who can be pushed to the lower funnel, right? Now probably you come up with an ad that shows a pricing or an offer, same product but on good offer. आप offer दे दो, probably if he converts over here, again he goes to the lower funnel, right? He goes to the funnel of consumers, right? So now you have your converted people, you have the mid and the lower funnel cookies in a different set, and with the general display campaigns you are fulfilling the upper funnel thing.
And how many times we should do this? Like either all customers converted or how many times we repeat this thing?
Repeat in the sense?
Means like conversion rate we are seeing how many converted already
Okay,
in lower, till lower funnel. But if people are not converting till 2-3 times, then how many times we have to try?
You have to keep on remarketing. Like
Okay.
you can change your ad copies every 7 days or every 15 days, right? And if you fix up dynamic remarketing, so itna aapko you won't need to worry that much, right? So with dynamic remarketing, you can upload the feeds and all that stuff, and it will start remarketing as and when these people visit different sites. Now over here you can have the cookie size right from 30 days to 540 days, right? So you can keep on following your visitor till 540 days, right? Now when it comes to e-commerce, this is one of the best practices, right? When it comes to B2B, you can probably have a window of 45 to 60 days, right? Because B2B, जो sales cycle है, it is not that small. It is ideally 3 to 6 months, right? So depending on that, you can have the cookie size limited, the cookie duration limited, and make sure that you keep on changing the ad copies, right? Now with e-commerce, probably जो converted users है, right? Now that is the people whom you can convert to loyal customers at a later stage. So maybe you have a set of 1,000 people, converted users, right? Which offer are high, or maybe you wish that now I want these 1,000 people to come back and purchase from my site, right? So what you do is you remarket an ad with a specific offer only for these guys, right? Maybe you give 20% off, which is not available for the other guys. Right? So the thing is, probably if you want to increase your sales, okay, probably there are times when the sales are down, right, for specific durations. So that is when you can implement the strategy. You can follow all your converted users, right? You can give them an offer, you can get them back to the site and get them converted. Getting it? So when it comes to remarketing, you have multiple strategies. You can strategize the campaigns as and when, however you want. Yeah.
See, I've seen that in dynamic remarketing, whenever I set up the campaign, it starts performing for a month or so, and after that I've seen there's always a drop. I set up my dynamic remarketing campaign some time ago. It performed for a month. My targeting, I didn't change anything in the targeting or whatever the budget or anything, but it stopped performing. So I shut it down. Again I started it. It performed for a month. Again it is now not performing. So why do you think this happens? Is it my products are going to remain same on the site? It's from an e-commerce company. My ad copies are showing correctly. I changed the template also. Maybe I thought the template is. We have certain limitations in terms of whatever the template Google gives. You have to show that.
Okay.
So I changed that also, but still I'm not able to get to a good level. I in fact spoke to Google also, but they were not able to give me any good reply for that. So I don't know what to do with the campaign.
See, ideally we haven't faced the issue yet. So I have never seen that issue. So I actually don't have an answer for that. Maybe
Okay.
I'll need to look into it.
So I think normally shorter period and change in creatives might work.
Yeah, changing creative has
Because there is a probability that the marketing period is very long, let's say 180 days, and the same creative is being shown to the person again and again. So it's
yeah,
getting
maybe a loss of interest.
Yeah.
Probably you can try changing the creatives. Right?
I
Maybe that
changed
is
the
one.
templates. I changed the
Changed it,
templates.
right?
Yes, I did.
And probably you can try changing the cookie size also, the cookie duration.
What is the general conversion rate, the ideal conversion rate for dynamic remarketing? I mean, just
See,
like
there is no idle conversion rate, right? So one of my mentors told me you can stop optimizing your campaigns once you reach 100% conversion rate. That's it. That is when you stop optimizing the campaigns. So unless you reach there, you have to optimize the campaigns. Probably you will see 1% conversion rate today. You optimize it, you can take it 3%. Right, so with our clients, we have seen when we start the campaigns, right, these guys don't have their landing pages in place. So we start at 1.5 conversion rates. We have taken these conversion rates till 15%. Right, so that's the, there is no limit. Unless you reach 100%, you have to optimize the campaigns.
Yeah, other than optimizations, I think the offer, the kind of offer you are providing also makes a difference. Let's say you are providing
offer plays a big role, but then आप कब तक offer provide करोगे?
No, let's say
that has a limit, right?
Your product is, let's say, $99, and the person did not buy on the site, and you keep showing him that same $99 price in the remarketing, then surely it won't work much.
Definitely. So that's what I told, right? When
lower you go in the funnel, you have to keep reducing the price. So depending on
as soon as you push these guys in the mid funnel, right? If they don't convert in the mid funnel, lower funnel is wherein you remarket all these kind of ads with an offer. Right, and customers to definitely you have to give some of the other offers, right? But then offers के लिए भी limitations है. That is why I told you probably if Adidas के ऊपर 30% दे रहा है, आपके पास Nike पे 40% है, 40% पे आपका loss नहीं है. That is when you have to remarket Nike.
Yeah, it also depends on the kind of market. For example, in SAS you can provide 50% discount flat, but in e-commerce you might not.
You cannot, because even today none of the e-commerce companies are in profit, right?
Absolutely.
These guys have huge fundings, but they are not even at a break even. So that's the story. The cost per acquisitions are very high. So this is just a difference between your performance ad copy and your brand ad copy. Right? So when you are targeting the upper funnel, the one to the left is what you have to focus on. When you are trying to get in conversions, your ad copy has to change. And yeah, this does not contain a call to action, but you also have to have a call to action over here. Now we'll have a look at how important is smartphone, right? Because a lot of us don't focus on mobile campaigns, right? There are a lot of issues. Probably the major issue is website. Even if they have landing pages aren't mobile optimized, right? So that's one of the biggest problem that people don't focus on mobiles, right? But if you see, the Indian market is growing 89% year on year. So this is in terms of smartphone users, right? This was in survey done by Nielsen. So now you can imagine कि ये कितना fast grow हो रहा है. This is a stat from 2013. 14 or 15 का तो काफी बढ़ गया होगा.
Now it is 110 million.
110 million, right? So
As of smartphone, not mobile.
Smartphone
users.
Right. So that's a huge number, and we can't miss out on this topic, right? Now we have a B2B client wherein everything on their website is managed from Germany. It's been a year that we have been handling their campaigns. We have reduced their spend to half with the same amount of leads that they used to get in the past, right? Lead volumes उतने ही है, spend आधा कर दिया है. Definitely the CPC and the CPLs are half now, right? They are down by 40%. So we are not meeting the spends. Now the thing that we are achieving is only from the search campaigns, from the desktop and computer campaigns, tablets. Now, unfortunately, our website is not mobile optimized, right? So when you open up the website on mobile, it takes a long time to load and all that stuff. So we have paused the mobile campaigns. So we recently had a meeting with them. We have been telling them since the last 1 year कि आप mobile पे focus करो, but they haven't been doing it. 3 days ago I had a meeting and I got an update कि ये mobile site जो optimize होगा, this will be done by this year end. Right, so till then we have to keep the mobile campaign shut. Now when it comes to B2B, there are a lot of obligations. Germany से US से handle होता है सब कुछ. Maybe they can't make changes. Right? We don't even have proper landing pages. The pages that we have are like product category page जहाँ पे multiple products दिखते हैं. Once you click on that, it takes you to the product. फिर वहाँ पे there is a send inquiry button. Send inquiry पे click करोगे, that is when it takes you to the form. So you can imagine how lengthy the process is, right? And a lot of conversion rate drops. A lot of people drop out over here. So we have been optimizing the campaigns, but successfully 3.5-4% तक हम conversion rate लेके गए with those same pages. But we need to start with mobile. So like that is how important mobile is. Now we are just meeting 50% of the spend because mobile is off. Right? If we had mobiles in the same amount of spend, we would have probably double the leads and we would have met the spend also. Right? These are some of the insights for mobile. Right? One half of all local searches are performed on mobile devices. Microsoft. Indian companies spent 3 billion rupees on mobile ads last year and the market is predicted to expand 43% this year. So this is again a stat from 2013. Nearly 1 in 8 compare prices on their mobiles while in a store. So this is when people actually go in the stores to purchase something. Right? Even we might have done this. And 91% of mobile internet access is for social activities versus just 79% of desktops. 79% on desktops. Right? So over here, one more insight that you get is it is necessary that you have your ads running on the social front when it comes to mobiles, right? Because a lot of people through the mobiles are spending time on the social front. This is where you have to be. If you want to increase your brand awareness, the very first slide that we saw in the start, if your brand is not that strong, right, this is what you have to focus on. You have to focus on each and every channel that is available to create that brand awareness. Yeah. Those are the advertising spends on mobiles. Question mark is there.
Question was the rupees, is it? Yeah, some font missing.
Font missing. It's in rupees. So you see the spend is increasing year on year. Right? Mobile advertising performs. Right? This is the performance that you can expect from mobiles. Probably targeting location in mobile ads and search results can increase click-through rates up to 100%.
Just go back. Do you have a comparison of desktop? So here it's 429 crores on mobile. But comparison में what is the desktop?
Comparison तो नहीं है, but desktop definitely is high.
Yeah, it is high. I wanted to say how high is that? Whether it's 10 times or whether it is double or what? 50%? What is it?
Probably 70% more than this.
70%.
So
I think it should be at least
अभी ideally 30%
I
is.
assume it must be at least 8 to 10 times.
At least 4 or 5 times.
Yeah. At least minimum
7
5
times. 7 times is what I meant.
Okay. Oh, 7 times. Yeah, exactly. So
7 times is what I meant. 7 times. So ideally, like 30-35% is the mobile spend for the Indian industry, now,
no, that's why. It can't be that.
which is rising.
Is it? 35%
At least
of advertising mobile spend is on mobile.
on the mobiles.
Okay. Just confirm. I don't think that is.
Definitely,
I am talking about something like 90 million on this thing, then 10 million or 15 million. So it is that kind of a gap is.
Yeah, the difference is huge, but the spends on mobiles are increasing year on year.
Yeah.
So that is there. And nowadays, like people have started focusing more on apps than having a website. If you know, Myntra shut down their website, right? They are only focusing on apps. On their app. I guess I read this article on your website. So you know it better. Mobile performs 4 to 5x better than online ads for key metrics such as brand favorability, awareness, purchase, and intent. Right? And the last one, which is more important, 9 out of 10 mobile searches lead to actions. More than half lead to sales.
But CPCs are very low on mobile.
Very low.
Extremely low.
Extremely low.
Yeah, because the reason is most of the time the landing page is not very much optimized. I mean, what people do is, they just take a template and put the images and they will just make them responsive. But they don't see what happens to the image. I mean, let's say there's this slide, and if you put it in a responsive form into a mobile, then it goes down to that size and you are not able to read it properly. So any text content kind of base image should not be on the page, or it should be in a very different kind of image which only shows up into the mobile.
Exactly.
So basically, instead of
that is the
responsive, you
biggest
have to go
problem.
adaptive when it comes to mobile experience and things like that.
No, Karanveer, but the point is that once you click the ad, then the conversion and the actions beyond that happen are much more on mobile than compared to desktop. But still the CPCs are low. So it's a very odd thing where CPCs are so low, but once someone clicks on the ad on mobile, he does far more things.
Exactly.
So that's something that's very interesting.
See, because Ideally, what happens is we prefer using desktops for the research purpose. कुछ product खरीदना है, research कर रहे हैं. But when we are actually searching through mobiles, that is when we have an intent to buy it. We actually want to buy it. That is when we इतने छोटे screen पे कौन time pass करेगा? So you have that intent and you actually have made up your mind कि probably this is what I'm going for and this is what I'm going to buy.
Normally what I've seen
And,
is people do run campaigns on AdWords and they will say 10% reduction on tablets and 30% reduction on mobile.
Yeah.
That is the standard that everybody follows. And
Yes.
other than that, they don't see कि उसके अलावा क्या होता है. And they just compare the results. अच्छा थोड़ा सा मतलब अच्छा आ रहा है तो वो 30% को reduce करके 20% कर देते हैं.
Right.
So they just play with the only one thing there.
Right.
उसमें नहीं result आ रहा then pause.
That's it. So people only play with the bits
Yeah.
ultimately, right? Definitely mobile is important. You can always check the search trends over here on the Google keyword tool. You will see the mobile पे trends क्या है. You have to focus on that. Make sure that the website is optimized. Else you will end up sending the traffic to a page that is not loading. Bounce rates will be high, and you will end up spending a lot.
How do you change it in the business service industry?
Sorry.
Service industry, B2B service.
See, everything depends on search volumes कैसा है क्या है, right? If you see people searching for that stuff on mobile, you have to be on the mobile. And make sure that the rest of the part, like rest of the stuff is all fixed before you go on the mobile part.
So because the conversion role, as you say, 5 times, 4x, 5x, that is not the case in this particular industry.
So that is awareness and purchase intent. A few landing page insights. Right? More than 90% of the visitor who read your headline also read your call to action copy. Right? So now when it comes to landing pages, people say that you should spend 50% of your time deciding your headline, the punchline that is at the very start, and 50% of your time on deciding your call to action. बाकी बीच में जो content है, not many of the people do, right? So maybe this is what you have to focus more on. Using videos on the landing pages can increase conversions by 86%. Okay, those video means short videos, 1 minute, 2 minute ka. Okay. The optimal number of form fields for most of the conversions from your landing page is 3. Right. Make sure that you have 3 to 4 fields on your form, right? Because we have seen a lot of businesses having 11 and 12 fields, 15 fields. So that is not required. So make sure that you have minimum number of fields that are required and that is how we can do that. So Obama raised additional $600 million using A/B testing. This is how important A/B testing is, right? With the industry, with the Indian industry, not many people test the landing pages or test the ad copies. Okay, so make sure that you always have split testing between the ad copies, right? Keep changing the banners, and सिर्फ change नहीं करना है. Also maintain the records for the previous banners, right? Or maybe record रखा नहीं है and then you keep on changing and then you at the end of the day you don't have any stats to compare. Right? So that is something that you have to focus on, and keep changing the landing pages, keep testing the landing pages, right? Landing pages के ऊपर अगर एक even if you change the color of your call to action button, even that matters a lot. Right. For one of our clients, we saw the conversion rate going up by 102% just by changing that color of the tab. Right. So that's how important optimizing your landing pages are. A 1 second delay in your site speed can result in 7% reduction in conversions. So if you check now, Flipkart has a page load time of close to 3 seconds, which is really good when it comes to e-commerce. Back in 2012, when we used to open these e-commerce sites, 7 seconds was a very good time. अगर आपका e-commerce site का 7 seconds is a page load time, like you were the best among the e-commerce players. Now you can see where the competition is. So they have taken that 7 seconds to 3 now. Probably they'll take it to 1.5.
Do you know what is Amazon's and what are the other sites ka benchmarks?
But we can, like, GT Metrics is a tool, so I can probably check it out. Now, by this time you have done everything, you have done the research, आपका कंप्यूटर क्या कर रहा है वो भी आपको पता है, right? You have planned all your campaigns, your search, your display, your remarketing campaigns. You have all your ad copies in place. The campaigns have been running, right? But you won't be able to measure anything unless you have the codes implemented, right? We come across a lot of accounts wherein these guys only check the clicks. That's it. Clicks is the only metric that they get. Clicks, impression, CTR, average position. उसके आगे क्या है, right? So unless you have these codes implemented, there is a conversion code in AdWords, and again you have conversion codes with each and every paid platform that you use, right? Make sure that you have these conversion codes pasted on proper pages. This has to go only on one page, which is a thank you page, the very last page of your website, right? So this helps you to track the number of conversions or the number of leads that you have received, right? Apart from this, the Google conversion code also helps you to track the value of the conversion. So probably if you are an e-commerce client, it will also track कि कितने रुपए का सेल हुआ है, right? Now with this single metric in the AdWords account, it helps you to track 2 to 3 more metrics. वो आपको total sale का column देगा. Along with the total sale column, it also gives you a column for ROI, right? So with AdWords, you can actually track the ROI for all the campaigns that are running. If you have that value parameter passed to the conversion code, right? Then you have the remarketing codes. Your remarketing code goes on each and every page of your site, right? If it's a landing page, it goes on the landing page and the thank you page, and along with that, all the pages of the website also, okay? And most important part is the Google Analytics code. Google Analytics has to be integrated because AdWords gives you insights to an extent, but अगर उसके आगे if you need to drill down and if you need to find more insights, this is where you will get, right? So Analytics will help you with acquisitions, behavior, and the conversions, right? So it helps you to, like, if you have goals, if you set up the goals, if you have all the goals in place, it helps you to track all the acquisitions that you have made, right? It helps you to track the user behavior. So user behavior is very important. Probably on one of the landing pages, you see that the bounce rate is very high. That means you have to optimize the page, right? Maybe for a specific keyword, there is something that is not working properly, bounce rates are high or something else. कोई पेज के ऊपर time spent नहीं हो रहा है ज़्यादा. That means the content is not that good, right? So these are the insights that you get from analytics, right? You can integrate analytics with your Google Play account, your AdWords account, double click if you're using it, and again with YouTube. So YouTube you will use for all your video ads. Again, coming back to the brand analysis part, if you see that your brand is not doing that good on the online front or the searches are not that great, videos is always what you can focus on, right? If you are in that kind of business vertical, right? So video ads, you can have 15 and 30-second ads running specifically which are non-skippable ads. उसके बीच में जो भी होगा, those will be skippable ads, right? So 15 and 30, if you have a video of 15 seconds, it is non-skippable, and 30 seconds again is a non-skippable ad. And this is how again analytics will help you. It will give you all the insights for that awareness stage, the consideration stage, the purchase stage, and the advocacy. Right? It also gives you the returning visitors. So this is where you get those details. Right. Coming to the last slide, the most important slide of today's seminar. So unless you achieve that, you have to keep on split testing. You have to keep on changing your landing pages and your ad copies. So there is no standard benchmark metric for any of the business verticals, but you can just optimize, and optimize. That's it.